Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Christian Reacts bringing you another reaction video. I'm excited to get at some new music that Phora has recently released. I'm hoping there's going to be a little bit different sound, but I still want the same old Phora, the same old storytelling, the same old really good lyrics. We're going to be looking at Phora God in this one. I'm hoping it gets really deep, talking about some pretty serious issues. It's titled God, so I'm assuming it's going to be a really good song. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. There's no music video, so we just got the official audio from his channel. We're ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Got some rain falling going on. Love the art he has going on. The gold kind of growing across his eyes. Yours truly forever.
I wish I could just be honest. Wish I didn't have to lie. Just wish I would've kept that promise. When I'm staring at the mirror, I just don't see myself inside it. Wish I could go back in time, get through high school and go to college, but I just can't now. And I could never turn around, I let my fam down. It's funny, everybody's saying you the man now, but no matter what size of these bank withdrawals, it'll never take away the pain I caused. Cause yeah, I've been unfaithful, God, and times I've been ungrateful, God, and at my lowest points I went as far as saying I hate you, God, and nothing is okay right now. No one feels my pain right now. If I didn't have my team, I would've blew out my fucking brains by now. But I'm just hoping, yeah,
man.
But I'm just hoping,
just hoping.
Yeah, I'm just hoping. Yeah, I've been unfaithful, God, and times I've been ungrateful, God, and at my lowest points I went as far as saying I hate you, God, and nothing is okay right now. No one feels my pain right now. Didn't have my team, I would've blew out my fucking brains by now. But I'm just hoping, yeah, I'm just hoping. I'm just hoping someone cares. Yeah, I'm just hoping someone's there. Yeah, I've been ungrateful, God. Yeah, I've been unfaithful, God. Yeah, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm a sinner, I'm on fire, and I drink till my blood gets thinner. I'm an addict, I'm a loser, I'm a quitter, and I take what isn't mine. So how you figure anyone would love me? I can't even love myself. So many broken hearts, but I couldn't tell you when I felt. I guess I'm just numb to the pain. And every time someone gets close to my heart, I just end up running away. Away, away, away. I guess I'm just numb to the pain. I'm just numb to the pain. Cause I just end up running away. Yeah, I guess I'm just numb to the
All right, that was God by Phora off of his new album Yours Truly Forever. It did have a slightly different sound to it, not too different, just some small things in the flow. I liked the hook that he had going on. That was all him doing the hook. You could really feel when he's saying I'm just hoping, I'm just hoping. You can really hear it in his voice, the hope that he's crying out for. And overall, the theme of the song is regardless if you're religious or not, he's talking about God. He's come to a point where he doesn't feel good enough, and he's kind of expressing that in the song. to God, asking for forgiveness, that sort of thing. And even if you're not religious, I think everyone, I can't imagine anyone would not feel this way at one point in their lives, but everyone has had the feelings of I'm not good enough, and whether it's apologizing to themselves, God, friends, family, we've all been in a place like that. So this song is definitely really relatable. A little bit further into the song, he talked about how can I think he says something like, how can God love me when I can't even love myself? Something to that extent. And the way I see it is that we are like the biggest roadblock to happiness ourselves. And if we can't learn to love or forgive ourselves, how can we feel the love of others? That's really big. I do want you guys to get that. It's we can control whether or not we love or forgive ourselves. We can't control if others are loving or forgiving us, but we can control how we perceive it. And I'm telling you, I'm sure you guys have felt it. If you don't love yourself, it is really hard to detect if someone's loving you. And you tend to just block out the world, but as soon as you start loving, forgiving yourselves, you realize that you have people around you who love you. You have people around you that care for you, who forgive you. And for a sense, I think that's the same thing with God, that if you learn to love yourself, you realize that God is just waiting for us to come to Him. And that's kind of what Phora is getting at in this song. I know I've been talking about some of the lyrics. I want to go ahead and read some of the lyrics as well. I'm pretty sure reading some of them will kind of clear up what I'm trying to say. Hopefully, what I'm saying makes sense, but let's dive into the lyrics. So the opening few lines of the song stood out to me when I first heard it and when I started reading through it. He says, yeah, I wish I could just be honest, wish I didn't have to lie, just wish I would have kept that promise. And when I first heard that, I kind of thought, well, Phora is brutally honest in his lyrics and his storytelling. He tells a story of his life like it is, and it took me a moment to think about that. Like, what is he not being honest about? And then it took me to a spot, who is he not being honest to? And from that point, I think he's not being honest to himself. And because of that, he's not being honest to God. He says, when I'm staring at the mirror, I just don't see myself. So he's presenting himself to the world as himself, but when he's reflecting on himself, like he says in the mirror, he's seeing something else. Whatever that may be, he's hiding something about himself. I know he talks a lot about, I think he said that in this song, that he feels like he's not making a difference. He feels like he kind of goes in waves. Sometimes he says, my raps have a purpose. Sometimes he go in the other direction. And from my perspective, Phora's raps have a big purpose. I think this guy is doing really good things with his music. And I think he's changing lives with his music because of how real he is. I feel like he's not seeing that. And I remember in the song he was talking about how he can't forgive himself for some things. He feels like if he dies, and he says this in some past songs, if he dies, people just remember the bad things about him. But I think people remember him overcoming stuff in his life and turning them into good. I've talked about this a lot about Phora. He turns bad variables in his life and makes them good. And I really like that about him. And he's saying, I just don't see it right now in myself. And he's trying to get a new perspective on it. And this is in the second verse. He comes out and says how he's been unfaithful to God. He says, yeah, I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm a sinner, I'm on fire, and I drink till my blood gets thinner. I'm an addict, I'm a loser, I'm a quitter. So he's identifying as all of those things. And anyone who is somewhat familiar with the Bible will know that some of the greatest religious figures of the Bible, two stand out, two really big ones, David and Paul. And they also some of the greatest sinners in the Bible as well. but it's stuff that they've overcome. What made them how great they are. David's an adulterer. He's if you guys don't know his story, he was a king. He was in battle. He had an army out in battle. He was at home. He was watching someone bathe from the rooftop. He fell in love with her, but she was married, so he sent her husband out in battle, got him murdered, so that he could be and lay with this woman, Bathsheba. I believe that's her name, Bathsheba. So he's a murderer and adulterer. Terrible, terrible move. But he's also one of the greatest religious figures of all time. Paul, before he became a Christian, he was known as Saul, and he murdered Christians. Like, this is the number one guy in the planet who just murdered Christians. Like, that was his thing. I mean, this is kind of a bold thing to say, but he was basically Hitler to the Jews. Maybe to not that extent, but that's what he was known for. He was known for exterminating Christians, and he was good at his job. And he converted, and now he's one of the top Christian religious figures of all time. That's incredible to think about. And he's saying that he's all these things. The difference is, if you ask David, what are you? He won't say, I'm an adulterer, I'm a murderer. He'll say something else, something positive. Same with Paul. The thing that where Phora is at right now, he's identifying with his mistakes, with his past mistakes that he's had, instead of identifying as a world changer, a rapper who's changing lives. Just the impact that he's had, I think, is tremendously positive, and he's identifying as the wrong Phora. We all have our mistakes in our lives, but it all comes down to what we identify as. And this song is identifying as a liar, cheater, sinner, on fire, addict, loser, quitter. But instead, he could be identifying as positive things, and that really can change your perspective. So I like what he's talking about in the song, and I think even though it is titled God, I feel like it can be relatable whether you're religious or not. I've talked about enough, beating a dead horse, but you guys kind of know what I'm talking about, hopefully at least. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed what he's talking about, so that kind of boosted it up a little bit. I mean, if you're used to my channel, you know I'm not all about just how it sounds. I really love content, and this song has really good content, and it's made me think about my life as well, and that's really what Phora is doing with his raps, making an impact. So if you guys did like the reaction and you like Phora, give the video a big thumbs up. If you're new, please go ahead and subscribe. We are on the road to 100 subscribers, hoping to hit that by the end of the month. I think we can do that pretty easily, and that's pretty awesome. So leave your requests down below. Keep giving thumbs up to requests that you want to hear, so I know what you guys want to hear. And if you didn't make it to the end of the video, I'll give you guys some snaps, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.